Hello and welcome to today's live. My name is Promise Odera Onu. First thing first, apologies for not doing this topic as soon as I brought it out. I've been busy. But let's do it. Men of old versus men nowadays. What does it entail to be a man? When they say be a man, what exactly? So we're going to be comparing men before and men now and see what we are doing better and what we need as a society to work on. And I want to talk generally about men in the world, but I think it will be more hard. I think it's better if I just narrow it down to Nigerian men before and Nigerian men now. So the first thing is, think about your parents. Think about your parents. These days we come online and we hear all sorts of people talk. We hear people with different opinions, sometimes very, very worrisome opinions. And it's not that these people don't have money, but you hear people saying, oh, I can't take care of any woman's child. I can't take care of any single mom's child. I can't take care of any child that is not biologically mine. And I keep asking myself, where did we miss it? Because most of our parents, and I want to ask it as a question, those of you listening, like, did your father train just his children? Growing up in your household, were you raised by your parents, and were you and just your siblings? When I mean your biological siblings, same mother, same father, were they the only people that your parents paid school fees, catered for, clothed, sheltered? That's the basic question we're supposed to be asking ourselves. You see, being a man is not just about your own immediate family. You have a responsibility. Yes to what? Yes to, it was just your parents, it was just your family, your brothers and sisters from your parents that your parents trained? Or did you have like maids? Did you have like house help? Did you have like umu boy, or apprentice? Do you have people that your parents were training in school? Do you have like people that are widowed that your parents look after? And I'm of the opinion that men of old are better than what we have today as men. All of the above. Okay. You see, growing up, I'm the only child of my parents. But you will hardly know, because unless you know my family, because I'm always surrounded by people. There's too many people living in our house. You don't even get to know how many people will sleep that night in the house until maybe early hours of the morning. When you wake up, you see, oh, somebody came in the night. And anybody can come from any part of the country and just land in your house, and then explanation will be he's a relative, he's an uncle or an auntie or what have you. So we had like that open door policy, which I think is not just peculiar to my parents, by the way, or my family. So we need to understand that the men of old had massive responsibilities that they lived up to. And when I'm speaking about my family is, I'm not coming from a silver background. I'm not even coming from a golden background or a wealthy spoon or blah, blah, blah. No. I'm from a very, very average, if not poor family. Okay? And that did not stop my father from being a man. Everybody eats from the same pot. If there is no money, they pour more water on the soup. If there is no meat, you keep sharing the pieces of meat until everybody gets a share. We share the same plate. No matter how many of us, if it's one okpoko, you know what is okpoko? Of swallow that you can, because every night we eat swallow. That is basic in Nigeria. I mean, every night you eat swallow. It's only when you are posh that you know that you don't eat heavy at night, you probably eat it in the afternoon, in the morning you drink tea. There is nothing like breakfast. We chop food anytime we want. If nagari and beans day in the morning, you go shop them. People that try to eat breakfast and eat lunch and eat dinner, blah blah blah, people who probably are starting to be better off in life. Of course, things are now different. It's not like what it was. I mean, this morning my wife made me finger bread and tea and oats and whatever. So I believe things are better now. I mean, I'm living abroad now. But the point I'm trying to make is it's not really about money. Because if you compare money, those that had money then, of course, had money then. And here today, there are people who still have money. But it's the mentality, the sense of responsibility, the sense of accountability, the sense of discipline, the sense of principle. If I ask you to talk about your father, I'm sure 2 of you or 3 of you in your family or you and your siblings can sit down and discuss your parents. Oh, daddy used to be tough on us. Oh, daddy will flog us if we come back late. Like in my house, the general rule is that once it's 6 p.m., you are inside. 6 p.m. In fact, you are not supposed to be outside when my dad comes in. So everybody's supposed to be in the house before my dad comes in. And my dad comes in about 6. My mom will come back earlier from the market. So as soon as my mom is entering the house, you are supposedly supposed to be looking out for my mom the time she comes back. So you finish school about 4, you come back home, you eat your food, you go out to play. Once you sight mom, you go and help her bring her bag home. Once you bring her back home, you stay home. Wash plates, do anything you have to do, and then when daddy comes in, you stay in. If you now go out again and go and play, and that first you to come back house, you go shop cane. General rule. He maintained that principle. It's not like these days where people are very, very lazy with parenting. You do it today, you don't do it tomorrow. Before you know it, the child will be monitoring. Oh, we were smart then, even though we were young. But my dad made sure he gave me consistent punishments for coming back late. So sometimes when I do that and I know he's come back, I will first of all start begging. I was an expert in begging my dad. And so, now wahala be that. So we can actually identify and talk about these things about our parents, right? Dad must meet you at home, yes. So if we can say these things about our parents. Now, I don't know if you have a child, Felix, but then if you look at it nowadays, how do we train our children? Are we that principle? I mean, back home, dad only played gospel music. You can't drink alcohol in my house. You can't smoke in the house. Of course, there are things that you don't even want to hear. If you're a girl, you can't come back with your boyfriend. You can't see you with money that they have not given you. So these are generic things that we respect our parents for, and it was general principle. Them themselves don't do it. So it's not like he's telling you don't drink alcohol and him himself, you're meeting him with alcohol. There are some people their father gave palm wine. There are some people their parents trained with alcohol. That's different. There are people that probably saw their parents smoke and they smoke. That's different. But generally, men of old were principled compared to what we have today. Today, you see a young girl, you will give birth. She's not ready to be a mom. She looks for a place to drop a 4-year-old, 4 months old, or 6 months old to go and club, or to go and go to a restaurant to go and eat with friends. In the house, then you can't play cards or Ludo, not to talk of alcohol. No, now, that's extreme. No, now, you can play Ludo. Anything to keep you in the house, you can do. But what you cannot do is betting. Betting was not even so much so then, like all these betting, Niger, this day, like what we have these days. But you cannot do all those. Then, what they used to do is PS4. I never entered that shop. You see all those PS4, you pay money and play and you compete. No. Table tennis then, it's okay, but they gamble with it. You have to put money to play table tennis. So again, I didn't play table tennis. Cards. What you call what? I can do what? But again, I cannot gamble. So once they play what to the point of putting money down, I can't do it. We used to do rubber. You know those rubber now, you stretch rubber on a stick, on a broomstick, we do that. There is no play that I didn't play. I was a typical Onitsha boy. You know, too. I played all plays. Ball race, running. I don't swim, so I didn't follow them to Transinkesi to go and jump in the water. So, but those principles that was imbibed in us made us to sort of stay away from any rubbish we know our parents will not approve of. There are kids that went to Mackey's, you know, weekends they go where all these prostitutes go to and all of that. They go clubbing, and on Monday in school they will talk about it. My father, you go to Mackey's, you go to a place to see women, your head will cut off that time. I mean, my dad had a machete in his house, in our house then. If my dad trained me with no stealing policy, or not just me, everybody in the house, you can't steal. So if he's looking for anything, you'll dare say it. There's only money, always money on top of the stereo. If you want to go and buy food, you can go and take money from there. So every evening he comes back, he empties his pocket, keep it off of the cereal. If you want any, daddy, actually go to Onions. Daddy, you want to go and buy pepper. Daddy, I want to drink tea. Daddy, I want to buy bread. Go and collect money from the stereo. So you go to the stereo, you collect money. But you won't know he's doing the mathematics of how much should remain until he starts looking for the money. And being the only son now, I'm the only one that have the boldness to go and collect money and not put back change. But I have to tell him, because of the gambling, if you don't do well in your exams, your holiday will be hell. For me, exams, I don't think my father ever flogged me for exams, so I was a good Itibore boy in my nursery school, 34 out of 4. In fact, I was even fighting all the time in school. But my mom is the one that actually did the good part, because my mom would train me in reading. Wake me up at night, bring water in basin, put your leg there, do TDB, or a clean lamp, put light. Sometimes we even do prayer before the reading. We pray, she will go to sleep now and continue reading. And at some point, I started picking up in primary school. But before I was good olodo now, then I started picking up. That is not attributed to my dad, but my dad never punished me for exam. If you are dull, you are dull. I don't think parents should actually fight their children or beat their children for scoring whatever. Especially if you know you yourself, you're an Itibore boy as a dad. What do you expect your child to be smart if your wife is also an Itibore boy? You know. So that is one. I was never punished for school, but eventually, because of my mom's efforts teaching me and everything, I started picking up. And by the way, I went to private schools, and that's one thing when you have a focus. That's why it's good to have less children. Although my own was not intentional, they were trying to have more, but they couldn't. So I went to private primary school, one of the best in Onitsha, Crown Modern Nursery and Primary School in Onitsha. I went to a mission school. I'm supposed to go to a government school, but there was strike in the time. I thought my name would come out in Dengram, DMGS, but he came out in CKC. And before he came out in CKC, my dad had already put me in Bishop Malukwe, which was owned by an Anglican church, St. Andrews. So it was a private school. School fees was more than what public schools paid, but because I was the only child, they trained me there. Now, education is not just where it stops, because some people say, oh, my child will go to grammar school, my child will go to private school, and then you leave it at that. Oh, my child will go to Catholic school, then you leave it at that. No. Most of the bad things that children learn, they don't learn from, I don't know how to say it. So most of the bad things that children learn, they learn from peers. And those peers can be people they go to the same school with. So you can't say, oh, because I went to private school, I didn't learn any bad. There were still bad people in my school now. There were still bad people. But what my mom used to do then was, he was going to show me an example of, oh, can't you see this boy? Can't you see that boy? You don't follow this boy, don't follow. And pray that your own child will not be used to signpost those they shouldn't follow. So you have to do your own work. You have to train your children. So these days, what we have is a lot of single moms, a lot of multiple baby dads. How do I say it? Is it but multiple women's baby dad? So you have a man that have about 5 baby mamas. And what people tend to forget is that all these people you call baby mamas, all those babies, tomorrow will be adults. Yes, you are looking at it that, oh, this girl just gave birth, is a baby mama. Listen, whether you're a baby mama and they're paying you $10,000, $20,000 or £20,000, whatever it is, remember that child you are calling a baby tomorrow will become a toddler, become an adolescent, become a young adult, and become a full adult, become a full man or a full woman. So always think future. Think about the future. When all these people are grown, how do you bring all these people back and say, I'm your dad? How do you meet up with the responsibility of training these children when we are not even in a core space with them? And this is not to rubbish anybody that is a baby dad of multiple women if it is not intentional. Private schools get their own kind of money. Of course now, I never went to any government institution. Yes. But being in this system now, being in the UK, for example, me and my wife have agreed. We're not going to trouble ourselves by saying, oh, our children must go to grammar school. I've even asked about grammar school. You have to pay. I've asked about, what do you call it? Catholic schools. Because everybody wants to put their child in Catholic school, right? I mean, I can fight and say, let's put them in Catholic school. I don't have anything. But if my children decide to go to government, which is free education, as against going to private school or grammar school, which you have to pay money, I'm settled. Do you know why? If Nigerian government school, we are working, most of these private schools as we went to, see, when you get to university level, nobody really wants to be going to private unis. Everybody wants to go to university like federal government owned universities like UNN, UI, Uniben, UniAbu, and all the rest. So it's only purely when there is strike and all of that there's an advantage of private universities over government owned schools. Yes, the public school secondary education is bad. Yes, you are right, Felix. I mean, if you lived in Onitsha, secondary schools in Onitsha are worse off than universities. I mean, if you talk about crime, if you talk about bad behavior, if you talk about how untidy schools are, if you talk about no teachers, and this is why when we talk about government, civil service, you see civil servants, you see teachers. I know some of them are old gratuity and all the rest, and some of them don't get salaries. But in a state, or let's use Abia State now that we know that at least Alex Oti is paying them. You see those schools, they're supposed to be visited all the time because teachers are so unruly, teachers are so nonchalant, and their own children will be going to private schools. Or if they are going to public school, teachers will make sure that they are the ones teaching their children, that their children are in their own class, so they will make out special time and teach them. But you see secondary schools, they are bad. Government-owned secondary schools, they're trying to like metropolis like Onitsha. Oh my God, what are you talking? Which one? Is it Metro, Awawa, Dengram, even CKC? We are known for authority. Even special science that is very strict, they will still jump fence, come out. Fight all the time, fight steady. They bust bottle. If you grow up on Onitsha, you will see violence a lot. You go to see blood steady. They fight anyhow. Then they go to school, they enter class. They have 7B. Every secondary school in Onitsha have 7B. That one is standard. They send students out on errand. Who will send students out on errand? Who? Teachers. So this is it. So this is why it's a different scenario in Nigeria. Anybody that have money that can afford it to send their children to private schools, and I agree. Go to Lagos now. School fees are like upwards of millions. Go to Abuja. You have American schools, British schools, international schools, milking our rich people. It's the same thing here. Grammar schools are expensive, $2,000 a year, which is like 2 terms, 6 months. They have half term, which makes it like 4, but you pay twice. I was asking the teacher, because I'm doing Uber now, and I meet people, and when I meet people, I ask questions. As I carried the teacher, I was asking him. It's the same thing here. Grammar school, private schools are expensive. It's like your child going to Gifted or going to command, which is military school. I don't know if they pay less. No, let's just say private schools. Private schools are expensive. If you don't have money, you can't pay it compared to what government school should be. But if a government school, when P2B was in governor of Anambra State, oh my God, they fixed all the schools. And you know, to go to Catholic school is very good because you see all these Reverend sisters. Hey, they can flog, Reverend sisters. Any school that is under like KRC, Kyo, you dare cross Kyo, see Kyo, see convent, is it convent they call it? Where all these Reverend sisters stay. They flog you. If you see Kyo, you gonna know Kyo. When it comes to schools, when they do all these inter-house sports or whatever, you will see Kyo with their red and white. They always neat. Adult girls also they try. You know, items like Chin Chin and Biscuit, the public school education in Nigeria is so super for learning. Yeah, it is. I agree. And then you look at their WAEC performance as well; they are doing bad, and that is why a lot of people go to private schools to write special sciences or to what do you call it, special centers to write WAEC. One of the reasons is purely because the secondary school have a very bad reputation for passing WAEC and GCSE and stuff like that. So they want their children to excel, so they go and put them in all those special centers to pass. Because, of course, the secondary schools didn't have teacher for months. I mean, there's some schools that don't have teachers. Probably they will have 1 or 2 coppers. And you go to some schools, teaching is one of the easiest jobs. Teacher. No, I take that back. Teaching is not easy, but you do less hours. You start when the students start and you finish when the students finish. So if you are doing 8 to 4 and then half time you go to your own holiday automatically. If you are doing business, you're working all the 365 unless you put one boy which you have to settle. If you put a maid or be a girl, you go pay her every month or him every month. So if you are doing teacher work, you finish early for the day. Your day is only 8 hours. As far as the students are there, you are there. When the school finish, you don't finish. Now that they are on midterm break or what they call it, school has ended for the term. My children are home till September. Teachers are also on break because if there is no student, there is no teacher. Do you understand? But yet, you see those teachers, some of them will say because government is not paying them. But in a state where government is paying them, teachers must be checked very well because those people, if they're not teaching, you see students, they will be on the streets. They will be on the streets. I think what she did is just a reflection of our society. Bro, what is your thought on the girl that manipulated her JAMB results? Well, I've said that if really that she did it is wrong. I don't know for what reason. Maybe she wanted to meet up with expectations. You know, when you're a local champion, you are the best in your school. I mean, every school will have somebody that comes first. To them, that person is intelligent. But then, when you go to a collection of schools, you find out that you that is scoring first might come 20. Because then, you know, you are meeting more intelligent people like you. So maybe Miss Oma thought she's the most brilliant. I'm still doubting the whole report though, because the best way to have done due diligence would have been to bring her an issue answer sheet and mark it, or make her receipt for it, give her time and make her receipt for it. But by the way, let's just agree with the report that was done by Anambra State and let's say that she faked the result. Now, I don't know what pushed her to that because there should be a motive. But when she was asked, according to that report, what is your motive? She said nothing. Now, my intelligent opinion is that nobody does anything without motive. And that's why I said, what is her motive? Is it because she wants to miss expectation? Is it because she knew the girl that eventually became the first, the Deeper Life school girl? Again, this is actually important to say. Mission schools, like schools owned by churches, they are doing well. Covenant University, Madonna University, and even secondary schools. Most churches own schools, they are doing good. And that's why Deeper Life School students came best in JAMB. And a lot of times, even Mountain of Fire schools, Mountain Top University and all the rest, they do well, which is good. There's Jabu, there's also Deeper Life University and all of that. So, you know, applauding them for their for what they do. But then, not to say that JAMB is not corrupt. JAMB is of course corrupt. JAMB is corrupt. How much do you pay for JAMB form? Multiply that by 1.6 million every year. I mean, this last one, they said they had 1.6 million students write JAMB. Then you charge those people that have already paid for JAMB form. Somebody you charge somebody to write JAMB. So the person has finished JAMB. So why are you now charging him money to print it out? Digital age, you're supposed to download, and then they will pay 15 naira or 5 naira to print from their cyber cafe. They're charging them 1,500 naira to print. It's absurd, man. JAMB is for me, I think JAMB is just ridiculous, honestly speaking. But that aside, Miss Oma is still a very brilliant child. For me, examination is one of the true test of knowledge. A lot of people that didn't do well in school are rich. And for me, for you to make money, you must be smart. If you're not intelligent, you will make money. So if you are book smart, you come first in class, but in the real society, you are broke, you are poor, then you're not really intelligent, are you? Yeah, you're supposed to know how to make money. It shows that you are smart. If you know how to make money, you are smart. You can't be rich if you're not smart. You need to know the rules. You need to be able to go above your peers or beat competitions to be rich. So if you are rich, you're smart. So that said, so going back to what I was saying, there are some schools that you have to pay a lot of money, not just the school fees, because people think it's just school fees. There's some things you have to pay, uniform, levy, this levy. I mean, my school, when I went to primary school, because we are regarded as one of the best in Onitsha there in Crown Model School, you pay 10 naira for every Igbo you speak. So if you speak vernacular, they write your name down. One of the people will write your name down, and you pay money for that. So I was paying a lot of 10 naira because I was speaking Igbo all the time. Do you understand? Now, apart from that, you bring other things like hoe and cutlass, money for this, money for this. So many things you pay. Now, imagine how much you pay for one student, and imagine you live in a house of probably 7 people, and you have only one child that is biologically yours. So your parents are looking after 7 people in school. Even if they are maid will still go to school and then come back and help in one thing or the other. Some of these people are not really, we call them maid because they are not biological children. Some of them are just people we just pick up from the village. Your parents travel to the village for Christmas. You are coming back in January with somebody new. It happens in almost every family. At some point, some of them will return home, or they will do one bad thing and you send them back to the village. And then you go back again to Christmas, you bring another new person. So in our house growing up, there's always one person coming, another person coming. So we always have people. Oh, this person is coming to Onitsha, come and do this thing, bam, land our house. Oh, this uncle is coming from Lagos, bam, our house. This person is coming from village, bam, our house. So our house is always full of people. Do you understand? Parents never complained. That is what you have men of old. Now you hear people say things like, nobody's coming to my house, no relative, no friends, blah, blah, blah. So what is the difference? Comparing men of old and men of now. Comparing how we are trained versus how we train. You see people now, they can hardly do morning devotion. I'm talking to myself. Growing up in Onitsha, early morning, as we are starting, good morning, Jesus. You go hear other people in other flats that are doing their own morning devotion. So the whole house, the whole yard, everybody's doing morning devotion. You know it's morning devotion time. There's this one they call mass, early morning mass. You will see people are going to early morning mass. People are going to 2 o'clock. I'm telling you 5 o'clock. People have woken up. 5 o'clock. How many of us these days as parents? Now you the answer different name?
Yeah, I changed my name. I changed my name.
How are you?
I'm good. Black Mentor said
I just watched the live. I just spent like 3 hours. I saw when Black Mentor was telling you, but I thought Sports Reality was good. It's not a good name.
It's a good name, but I saw reasons with him though, because this name that I'm using now, I've had it for. It's been there with me, right? So.
But it's not your real name, Sha.
It's not.
Okay.
But one of the names, it has very big impact. Do you understand? As a matter of fact, this is my grand aunt that brought me up her name. Okay. That's one of the 2 names. Yeah. So I've been trying to I've been thinking about, sometimes we just need one push, right? We just need one push to do that thing that is in our mind. So when Black Mentor said it, I didn't I didn't give it a second thought because I already conceived it already.
No,
Do you understand?
He's really, you see, most of the things Black mentors say is not things he conceived himself. It's things that he has paid a lot of money to go and learn from other people that are higher up, better off than him. So it's really commendable that we have people like him try to teach strangers. You know, most of the things he say on Peter's life, I don't know, he probably just likes Peter, are things that you probably will pay money to go and learn. And people go on conferences, travel from one country to another to go and listen to those kind of talks. So we applaud him for that. The only problem I have with Black Mentor is when he says, do you rather be right or rich? I'd rather be right too. Eh? What the Bible say? First seek the kingdom and every other thing shall be added. I'd rather do the right thing than try to be rich. Me, I don't really care about money. For me, if you want to be rich, go to Black Mentor. He will teach you how to be rich. But I'd rather live a purposeful life. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
I think Black Mentor has both, and that's why I normally engage him anytime I catch him on live. He has both. You understand? Like there's this sorry, I'm on the road. You know.
Go on.
So okay, so there is this platform, Henry's platform. There he talked about marriage. He's on my page. You understand? And he talked about it extensively. You get what I'm saying? So the money aspect is his business, right? Because if I want to talk about some things that I want to do, or if I started doing them, I'm going to be passionate about them. And I think that's what he's doing. But in between, he still tells us about some values. Because without those values, as a matter of fact, he has told us about himself. So without those values, I don't think he will be where he is. But some of us, when we go and listen to conversation, we only pick the ones that suits us. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, for instance, me, I engaged him one time like that. I wasn't prepared to start doing it, right? But I noticed that a lot of people were interested. And as a matter of fact, I heard few months later, I heard a woman on that live, on one of Peter's live, she came to thank Black Mentor that she's opened their account. She's done this, she has a card and all that. But look at me that asked the question, have I started it? Have I done it? No. So sometimes some conversation may not be.
See what Black Mentor is doing, is Black Mentor is in a group of highly powered people where he's saying only him. So he wants to go back to his people that looks like him, and make them to come up. Yeah? So they can get into those rooms. And why I really like what he's doing, I recently followed him, even though it took a while for me to follow him, because me, I'm not after money, really. But I followed him because...
I said you have to be convinced of...
No, I know him. I'm the one actually that called him Black Tormentor from Daddy Free's life when he was coming, when we were doing the Clash of Supporters. So I knew him that whenever he come, we are going to lose in terms of Star Wars. He's going to buy all the money. So I knew him. But I'm not really interested in throwing money around. Money is not my thing. But I started listening to him on Peter's live all the time, and I can see some honesty in his motive. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And there are people that are successful, highly successful in Nigeria. I mean, if Black Mentor want to be the governor of his state, you will see people that will tell him to sit down, and that's factual. There are people that have money. But the point still remains is that most of these people that have money they don't want to teach you how they make money. They don't want to teach you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So you probably see people write books. They'll probably write books and tell you how they made money, blah, 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 to even make money from you, not to share those knowledge with you. But Black Mentor is showing you steps of how to sort of, open businesses, get tax little and break even. Sharing those secrets with you, which is, highly appreciated. If money is your thing, go for it. For me, I want to live a purposeful life. I want to...
go on. Money is everybody's thing. But the thing that is out of it is loving it and wanting to do anything. That's where it's wrong.
At all costs. I must make this money. When you make it your soul, when you make it something that that's the only thing you care about, then it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem because you will never have enough. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Dangote is the richest man in the world, right? Sorry, in Africa, right? Mm-hmm. Does Dangote still want to make more money?
Of course.
Thank you. Now,
but mind you, Dangote being Dangote is more of people's money. I hope you know that.
No, I'm not even arguing that. No, what I'm trying to make you understand is the quest for money doesn't have a limit.
Oh yeah. I agree.
I want to ask you another question. How many businesses do you think Dangote is doing?
So many, a lot.
Cement, sugar, flour,
and then now
refinery, and spaghetti.
A lot.
So when people say to you, "Oh, you are doing 3 jobs abroad," blah 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 blah, or what the Freeze was saying, it's not to mock you. Don't even take that as mockery. I'm an IT guy. Listen, let me show you. Listen, I have to turn because I'm on break. I turned it off, right? But even though I'm an IT guy and I could actually fold my legs and sit down, like, chill, I started driving Uber. And you know what driving Uber sort of taught me? There is always money. Like, money is there.
I mean, every now and then.
Every now and then. So all you need to do is you will learn how to say no to money and close your app. And when you're ready, you pick your app. Do you know there was the time I became greedy? I started driving around 2. I drove all the way from 2 p.m. through the night till 2 a.m. I was literally like, I said to myself, man, you're going to die for money, man.
So now you just contradicted yourself because you said, I don't want to flaunt. I don't want to. Now, Black Mentor is flaunting.
No. Let me say something to you. Hold on. Let me say something to you. Do you know what the Bible says about being lazy?
Tell me.
Oh no! What did you tell me? It says, you're worse than an infidel if you cannot provide for your family. That's one. Yeah, I know people. A lazy man is the normal slogan as well. But again, you need to understand a lazy man is anytime you see yourself having ample time, you have a lot of time in your hands. Get busy. Do something. 1, 2, choose. See, there are so many things I can make money from. And I mean so many. Have people advised about plumbing? There's money in plumbing. I picked up one guy, his dad is rich. He told me how his dad made money. He said, "Oh, brother, you're in Nigeria. Come on, go to a Nigerian populated area. Open a store, start selling plumbing and electrical parts. There's money in it." I said, if I don't have passion for that, why will I do that? A lot of friends will call you, do you know I make money from this? Come and do this training, do that training. You're going to make this money, you're going to make that money. A lot of people told me to do nothing. As a matter of fact, my friends do not. And they get like 10 grand or nothing. If I don't have passion about needle, how am I going to be doing needle work? Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So that is what I'm saying. It's not about money. Don't make money your thing. I just do, but from the time I got my license, I failed driving 9 times. And I'm not joking. So everything UK is hard. You do everything in the world easy. When it comes to UK, they will make it as hard as you see Uber. You look down on Uber, come to UK and do Uber. In America, you can use a 13-year-old car and do Uber. Here, you will use an electric car.
No, don't say that.
I know somebody that is driving Uber. I spoke to him on Sunday. He's driving he told me he's driving a 13-year-old car.
Is it Uber or
Uber
Dropbox?
X, yes. Then you have Uber. My car qualifies for Uber Green, Uber X, Uber Comfort. In UK, any Uber, you have, unless they've registered your car before. But if you want to get into Uber now, so many cars, if you're petrol, if you're hybrid, you won't qualify. Even if you are the biggest Mercedes, you won't qualify. Mercedes now, they have electric that can qualify for Uber. Are you getting me? The car I'm driving is pure electric. And I'm paying a lot of money every month. So I want you to understand it. I wanted a business, even a job like the job I'm doing from the comfort of my home. I can put Netflix on, I can cross my leg, I can chill. Now, I wanted to make money in my own terms, in my own comfort. Are you getting me? There are people that stress, and I used to stress, to be honest. I mean, you grow, right? I did my master's and everything. But then there are times that you will see people, they will jump from one thing to the other. They will hear that this one, they're making money from DJ bar. They don't go buy a laptop bar. They won't go be DJ. So they will pay them 1,000 for a section or a ceremony or whatever, a party. But then, is DJ your thing? Do you vibe to, and you know, as a DJ, you don't listen to audio Afrobeat. Sometimes you have to listen to music you don't like. You have to listen to dancehall. You have to listen to rock. You have to listen to hip hop. You need to listen to pop. So if you do not like all those kind of things, why are you getting into the business?
Exactly.
So if anything I see, because I'm comfortable with driving, I just go a car that I love. My friend said to me, "Oh, go and get all these Toyota Prius, all this old car, and be paying 160, 180. I said, "No, I want to drive Uber. I have to drive the biggest car because I enjoy it. So I gotta go a car that if you drive it, I mean, Kia Niro is like the best car of 2022 in the UK, right? The drive is smooth, excellent car. It drives itself. So I leave the steering, it's driving itself, and then it wants me to hold the steering. It can go fast on cruise control, stop itself when it sees a car. There's camera 360. It's lovely. So I picked the car like that. I'm enjoying it. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So you do things at your own time. At the same time, I have an online platform, you know. I'm investing my time doing videos, teaching people.
When you say at your own time, if you say at your own pace and doing something that you're happy with, that gives you that satisfaction, because a lot of us are doing things because people are doing it. Meanwhile, there is no job satisfaction. As a matter of fact, we don't get even the 5% joy in what we're doing. And when you talk about working, like overworking, trust our people. Like you are diversifying, right? But our people, some of us want to like do this Sunday to Sunday, not taking care of ourselves, not taking time out, and then when we finish that job, we'll be sending it to Nigeria. And
in your life with Black Mentor,
yeah.
Emma Blaze said something. He said, is it Emma Blaze? Yes, I think it was Emma Blaze that said something saying, "Oh, people will go and be making money and sending it to Nigeria. And I'm building houses they will never live in." I said to myself, this guy is talking to me. You know, my pastor said the same thing, that she will never build a house in Nigeria because she's never going to live there. And there's sense in that. There's sense in that, you know. And my place said it like, "Oh, instead of going to holiday," and me and my wife here, we've been talking about where should we go holiday. I said to my wife, "Check. My wife said, 500, 600 pounds for one person." I said, "Per person." He said, "I said we'll go push this holiday till next year." But I don't think it's a bad thing if you have to sacrifice 1 year. I mean, we've been going holidays. We've gone holiday this year, but it's in the UK. We're talking about holidays outside UK. I mean, I've been enjoying myself, to be fair. I also work on a rail. So I work on the rail where I'm a signaling installer. I'm licensed. So I'm doing 3 things. But all these things are things I enjoy doing.
Good.
None of them is money. In fact, they called me for work. A 5-day work, I turned it down. They called another one. I said, "Listen, if you're not going to pay me this, I'm not doing it." And I didn't take it. Uber is paying me less, but I prefer doing the Uber. And let me remind you, when I said at my own terms what I mean. I don't have a, it's like this life. I can say I'm coming live. You don't know what I'm coming until I come. I come at my own time. I'm not telling you I'm going to come live every 6 p.m. I'm not telling you I'm coming live every 11 p.m. I come when I want to, as it suits my time. So that's why I call freedom. Exactly. The only person that is paying for my time is my IT job. But even my IT job, they gave me that flexibility. That's why it's called flexible hours. I can start 7.
I'm interested in IT.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. So
easy, man. You can learn anything online. There's so many Scrum Master. There's the thing with IT is broad. When people say IT, you can do data analyst, you can do information. I'm an information analyst, by the way. I've been an IT manager before. There's so many things. There's so many jobs. There's admin. There's so many things you can do. So again, I keep warning people. I picked up one girl when I was doing Uber. She's a dancer, and she said she just performed in one of the theaters in London. I said to her, "Don't do anything because of money." And I keep saying to my youth in church, because I'm a youth leader, I said to people, don't do things because of money. Money is the least you want to do things. Anything you are doing, money will come as a consequence. There are so many things that brings money. Many. Real estate give you money, like Black Mentor is saying. But the same Black Mentor is also a trainer. The same Black Mentor is also investing in businesses. The same Black Mentor is his wife is into coaching and beauty, whatever. So you go look at things like, yes, we can diversify. You can do more than one thing, but at the same time, do things that align with your passion. So you won't wake up and you are told to go and do something. And you feel You think being a Davido is easy or being a Wizkid is easy? These guys break down, they cancel shows because you've flown before, Abi. You don't enter plane before land. How do you feel? You want to hit the bed, you are tired, you don't want anybody to disturb you. These guys are doing it back to back every day of the week. If Davido doesn't like jumping up on stage with all the money he's made, he wouldn't do it. And the thing with money is that you accumulate, and you suddenly realize, I've bought everything I want to buy. You start giving out again. You start giving out. That's why they call themselves philanthropists. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? These guys give away the same money they fought so hard to make. Are you getting me? So money is not the goal. What impact are you making? Are you enjoying what you are doing? Because other than that, you will make so much money, you will be satisfied. Ask any billionaire. Ask any billionaire. They still want to wake up in the morning and go and make more money. Because it is not the money that gives them the joy. It is being productive. Are you getting me? It's being productive. It's being fulfilled from, oh, I managed to do this. Or they can be drinking with their friends or playing golf with their friends and saying, I want to buy this thing. I'll be like, oh, you can't buy it. And the next thing, they want to do it. Or they can say, oh, I want to be the next governor. And you think they're playing. They will invest all their money in it. Tooth and nail, they will fighting to be the next governor. So it is what it is. How fulfilled are you from what you are doing? I remember when I came to this country newly, I was waking up early in the morning to go to schools to do cleaning. 5 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you enter bus. Come and see people's faces. Everybody's angry. Because you can't wake up that early in the morning and be happy. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
You enter bus, everybody's angry. And in that particular time of the day, some people are still coming back drunk, sleeping on the buses, don't even know where they stop it. And they're going from one stop to the other. And then some people, 9 o'clock, they're all dapper in their suits, enter the train, reading newspaper, they are enjoying their stuff. It doesn't mean that they're getting more money, because a lot of people that do office-based work are not getting anything. I will tell you that for a fact. Office work doesn't give you nothing. All you do is that you wear clean clothes, sit in nice tables and whatever. Well, you are still an employee. You see those dirty people, those people that wear dirty clothes and go and do electrical work, plumber work, mechanics, they're the ones that have the dough. All these gas electricians, gas engineer, these are the people that have money. Are you getting me? So it is not about money. But to the topic, what I was talking about today is men of old versus men nowadays. You have the likes of Black Mentor, you have the likes of Obi Kubana, you have the likes of Okulola, you have men that are impacting lives these days, which I really, really applaud and appreciate. But then you see so many other men who don't even understand, and even the society is fast destroying itself because the social construct now is revolving about you can be anything. So you see men want to even be half man, half woman. Now, at the end of the day, what that has done is that our women are not looking up to us anymore. Now they want to be equal with us because now they see that we don't even have any value. We don't have any distinction. We don't have any, how do I say it? So if you think about your dad and think about your boyfriend, you will see a sharp contrast in what men used to be and what men are today. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Because your parents can comfortably pick people's children and train for free. It is only abroad that you see married couple go to a, what do you call it? Go and adopt a baby. Even adoption is a very expensive process. But they do that because, of course, they know they owe it to the society to train that child. And they will love that child without any reservation. Nigeria, there are a few people that have adopted child. I think Obi Kubana have one. Obasanjo have some adopted children. I think even that the phrase said he had an adopted child. People don't even understand the process of adoption. You see, if you're rich to a certain extent, what does it cost you to provide food, clothes, and shelter to a real child? Just mute your mic. There's a voice filtering in. So, what will it cost you if you're a rich man to have, somebody that is not your child, your biological child in your family? How much is food? How much is clothing? How much is, you already have shelter, you have your house, they can sleep. So, and we need to kind of encourage these practices because other than that, some people will not have to go to school. You see people like Lord Zeus, you see other people who are out there trying to impact life, train people. Whether you like it or not, we owe ourselves all those responsibilities to be able to help ourselves There are people that...
I'm in a bus. I'll be back.
All right, all right. So you need to understand that we have that responsibility that we owe to ourselves as men. You know, back in the day, women used to look up to us. You know, men used to be people that are principled, people that are respected. You know, you come out as a man and you see people like, really, yes, this one is an Odogu. Now they call men Odiegu. Women now look down on men because men are not what they used to be. Men are not what they were. You know, back in the day, you see a man is so principled that they will tell you, this man, this and this and this is what he's known for. Oh, this man cannot do this cannot do that. Oh, you want to do this? Go and meet this man. Somebody can send you a message with his name. Oh, go to this place. Say, Mr. So and so send you. They know what to do. They will give you this thing. My parents, I went to some certain people, and the name of my father made a way for me, or made a way for me rather. There are people that met your parents and will love you because of your father. Do you think it's because of men are not what they used to be, or because of cancel culture? What do you mean by cancel culture? Elaborate. Who is canceling you in the first place? If you are who you are, whether nobody likes you or whatever, they will come to terms with it. Let's talk about Davido, for example. How many people have Davido put on? How many people have Davido helped on the street that they don't know? Is Davido the only billionaire son? Don't you see other billionaire children how they show off their money and whatever? How many have they put on? So what I'm trying to say in essence is, you look at yourself as a man and tell yourself, why I am a man is because God has built me to be strong. When they say to you, be a man, even my son today, he fell when he was going outside. I was telling him, be a man. I'm trying to inculcate something to him. I don't like him crying over fall. He fell down on himself. He didn't hurt anything, just his hand reached down before his leg. Why is he crying? He has to be a man. You know, we've watered down this man thing because of equality and the whatever. Now we have rubbish that we don't know whether they are men or women. And to be honest, we need to get to a stage that when you meet somebody, ask them, are you really a man at birth? Or because when we are pushing all these things we are pushing, we need people to be able to also be honest about it. If you know you've changed from being a man to something else, let people know that you are not what they thought you are. If you meet somebody in the club and you think he's a girl, are you a girl at birth? It should be a normalized question. So we know who is a girl and who is not, and who is a man and who is not. And what is happening in the society is that, yes, they will say anything a man can do, a woman can do better. I'm not here to argue that. There are women that are stronger than men. Yes, I appreciate. But if you are a man, and I say, I'm okay. Why you see people making that statement, I'm okay, is that before people used to say, yes, the male child is preferred to the female, but these days people are changing their mindset. People think the women is even better. Because I was asking the teacher the other time, I said, in your class, who is doing better? He said, women. I said, do you know why? Because the women and girls are wearing short mini, deceiving the boys. The boys are focused on their mini skirts, and now the girls, which are not wired visibly, in fact, the men are even well dressed. If you look at school children, you see the boys, they will wear trouser, shirt, tie, even suit, a jacket. Women, they will drag their skirts up. So now, I don't know why they are doing that, because they are minors. Nobody can talk to you in the first place. Okay, let's say they are doing it for their folks. Now, in their class, the boys are wired by vision, what they can see. So now they are busy trying to obscure or to look at that girl's legs, while the girls are busy in class studying, because they're not looking at the boys and feeling any type of way, right? And that's why in class, girls do better than boys. So we need to tell our children, cover up, so men will be focused in class as well. In a world where a wife is told to submit to a man is foolishness. In a world where a wife is told to be submitting to a man is foolishness. Please elaborate. The rainbow community is really impacting our society, yes? Whether we like it or not. Yes, the rainbow community, yes. Without saying anything against them, we need to also draw a line somewhere. Because we can't be telling children, oh, you can't, if you love a minor, it's pedophilia and blah, blah, blah. And at the same time, the rainbow community are getting naked in front of young kids and nobody is saying anything. They are reading things that are so erotic that even adults can't read it in parliament, but they are reading it in class, teaching our children. And that's why people like Elon Musk said there is not taking his children to school. that he's training his children by himself. So he built a school. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, built a school for his own children. He said his own children will go to his school because he doesn't trust the system. The system are behaving nuts. And that's why people like Trump said they will fight against all of this. And this is why I support Trump, whether I support Trump, whether you like it or not. Mr. Dela, this is a new word. Your male kid could go to school as a boy and come home as a... Yes. So what they're trying to do is to equate gender. They don't want to have any gender anymore because they want to cut out, they want to remove, so they want to reduce population. And who are the people that are born anyhow? Africans. We're born anyhow. Africans were born. Look at most of European countries. 3 million, 5 million, 4 million, 2. Some people know now thousands. Go and look at African countries and check their population. Nigeria is, forget this thing, they tell you 200 million. If they count Nigeria as normally, we reach 500 with plenty. In the UK here, you can now listen to radio and you'll be hearing Yoruba, Igbo for they do, but they watch and they listen to Capital Extra. Capital Extra, major, not just Kiss. So before it was Kiss. Now, Capital Extra is playing our song back to back to back. Oxlade, Burna Boy, Wizkid. In fact, they did one hour playing Wizkid's song because it was Wizkid's birthday. Shout out to Capital Extra. All of my passengers are hailing them. They are doing extremely well. Like some of my passengers really love the vibe. Yeah, I don't change my radio station. It's always on Capital Extra. They are playing all this music because we are here. Whether you like it or not, half of Nigeria is here in the UK. And that's why when you do a show in O2, full, do you know where Wizkid is going to go and do show? Tottenham Hotspur, Olympics ground in Stratford. 65,000 capacity, I'll be over 60,000 capacity. That is the biggest single event center in the UK. Where Beyonce shut down. That's where Wizkid is going to shut down in this July 29th. Nigeria. If you count Nigerians where they here, now count Nigerians where they New York, count Nigerians where they Germany, count Nigerians where they India, count Nigerians where they China. Almost Nigeria will pass 100 million. No, the way we they born anyhow, they born. One person go get wife, 5 baby mamas. That children where you know even know say he gets because now the one where they tell you know say he born. When we are supposed to be productive in other places, look at other countries, powerful economies. 3 million, 4 million, they go to marry one wife, they go to marry, born 3 children. Even if you want to marry multiple women for polygamy, must you born all of them? If you want to born 2 of them, I born one. This one they will give you. I met one Jamaican man. The guy gave birth to 14 children in UK. Hey! I said, if this one near Africa, he go born 70. Haven't you seen a man that bought 70 children in Africa? They're not there, for no good there. A native doctor. They go born anyhow. So we need to address these things. And that is one thing that I would say, compared to these men nowadays, at least we know they born the way they're born. That one is 1 point to us. Our fathers were born anyhow. But one of the reasons why they were born like that is because they wanted to have more people to go to the farm. In their own defense, that's what they said. But most of them were born without any reservation, without thinking that they don't have money. You can't be saying that poor people they born more. You go use stress, you go they hit your wife, they knock your wife all the time. As they knock you, forget that children they come out like that. Your wife go born, you go to reverse. Excuse me, that's what happens. Most of them when their wife give birth, they will be angry. They will leave their wife in the hospital. They call, they don't discharge us. Come on. We are angry because their money no there for milk. But now you the heater, you know say what you they knock the enter. Afrobeat is the biggest genre. Yeah. But you need to understand how Afrobeat became the biggest genre. It's not just because yes, things like calm down, yeah, you will see them they dance for my car, they like them. But when I hear they speak proper Yoruba, and that is the song. So you say our musicians, they sing, they speak English. No, not even Wizkid, they speak English. If they listen to Yoruba, most of our other artists, maybe if you listen to Arista, Rush, you will hear English more. But most of our this is typical Nigerian languages. So why is it big? It's because we have people here If you do show for O2, we go. Olamide came here, this show 3 times, back to 3 days in a row. I was in that show, no space. The guy caused traffic for road. Nobody fit cross. Nobody fit go down. As in, police had to come and force. In fact, we entered the place without checking our tickets because of the rush. People live here. Nigerians live this UK. Whether you like it or not, we full here. So if you check it, it's because of our population. That's why Afrobeat is big. Because a lot of people are listening to. So when all these streaming platforms came on board, you notice that this music is doing numbers. Why is the music doing numbers? Because there are Nigerians everywhere. Now we the plan. So yes, there was a shift from hip hop to Afrobeat. We stopped listening to them 50 Cent, them Ja Rule. We stopped listening to them. I started listening to them Davido, them Two Face, them P Square. Yes, but now because the numbers when they come these shows, when they come now, it make people don't realize money day here. Okay, this is the new big deal. They started playing it, and that's why Oyibo is forced to play our music because that's the one. There are numbers listening to it, and now we sabi dance. Now we like music. Now we go party. Now we go O2. Now we go check all these people, and that's why we brought them up. Afro showcase our culture, and Nigerians are never always shy to showcase their culture. That is one very great thing about us. I feel Nigerians are part of the most confident people on it. Yes, we are. We're very happy people. Even when we are suffering, we are very happy people. Nigerians are very, 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 very happy. In terms of culture, I hardly think it's our culture because in those music, when you watch our videos, they are very, very westernized. The girls are naked, so I don't think there's anything to do with our culture in that. Some of the music videos are shot in Nigeria or in an African scene, like Davido, or most of them are shot in Africa with, Flavor, for example. When Flavor was playing, I was hearing Igbo steady. They were playing Game Changer already. I was like, wow, this guy, how do you ever understand what this guy is talking? The only English you hear is the Emperor, the Conqueror, the ruler is here. Apart from it, everything in Igbo. So if you think about it, it's not because they really, really understand what we are saying. There is no culture to it, unless if you watch the video, you will see it's very much westernized. They wear big jackets in a sunny place. That is not your culture now. They're supposed to be wearing singlets or what they wear here in summer, bomb shorts and whatever. But they dress fully. They wear balaclavas that we wear for work. That's what we wear because of cold. They wear the stylish, fashionized balaclavas in a very tropical place. I mean, they can argue they're in ACs and they're in cold, or they're in airports, or they're in planes, but still, they're not supposed to wear winter clothes in summer. Otherwise, people will be looking at you like you're odd. I don't think it's anything to do with our culture, per se. But yes, we appreciate they're doing well. Our comedians are one of the most intelligent people. I watch a lot of comedians. I watch a lot of our comedy, and we are doing exceptionally well. And I really, really appreciate that. Oh, welcome back.
Yes, I've come back. Now, I want to talk about this your topic, right?
Yeah.
I
want to ask you a question. In your house, growing up, did you grow up with just your biological siblings, or did your father train people that are not your family, your core unit family, or your core brothers and sisters?
First of all, I lost my dad when I was a baby.
Oh,
right?
Sorry.
Thank you. I didn't grow up with my parents, right? But I grew up with my grand-aunt. That name, Beatrice, is her name.
Okay.
Now, we have, of course, a lot of my cousins. Some I personally go to bring them, to talk them to come and stay with us. Till date, right? I eat when I want to eat food, I eat less, but I eat better when I'm eating with people, because that's how I grew.
Yes. That's how you grew, yeah.
We eat in the same bowl, right? So, and I loved it. But now you can't compare then and now. Do you understand?
Why?
Yes, good. Now then, the food was very cheap. As a matter of fact, my aunt, she can feed like multiple people selflessly, not expecting anything from anybody. I come from where our main source of income is fishing, right? So my grand aunt, she does this, periwinkle, right? Periwinkle, oyster in America.
I don't think I know exactly. The other day I went to a fine dining and I ate lobster, but it wasn't the full lobster. It was like small lobster they used to make the spaghetti. So I've not eaten the main one.
Do you know fisherman soup?
I need to go to all these places. I've not eaten all these things.
Oh.
No, I'm not. I mean, see, I come to Nigeria every year, so when I come back, I will go to Port Harcourt. I even have there's a family friend I have that is a very, very good cook. So I will go to Port Harcourt and I will try and eat all these things.
Enter Port Harcourt, eat better fisherman soup.
I go try.
You go tell your wife, make she learn her. Once you eat them, you go tell your wife, make she learn her.
I will try.
Now, that's the kind of, setting that I grew up from, right? Now, then, a lot of things that are happening now were happening then, were controlled. You said something about people are always coming to your house and all that. I have a former colleague that was being molested by a cousin. As a matter of fact, her mom did not believe her when she told her. Yes. How can you say my cousin? How can you say my relative did this to you? But that was what happened to her, and many more. I also have my experiences, right? Although different, but a lot were wrong, but minimized, controlled. But now, you that is talking, can you allow those, like the way your father, your mom were allowing? Can you allow it now? No. And these days too, we also have so many lazy people that are not ready to do nothing. And will just come to your house and prepare to just sit down, you feeding them, doing everything for them. Now, I'm not saying that they are no good people. As a matter of fact, I love living with people. You understand what I'm saying? I love living with people till tomorrow. But who is coming to my house? That has to be checked. Because these days, even our family members are disguised with something else. In that when they come to our house and leave, our house never remains the same. Negatively. So,
okay, what you just said now is a bit concerning. Actually, I've had a case, one case where a young girl living with us who is very related to me, and also a young guy that is living with us, also related to my mom. So two of them are related to my mom, but one from my grandma's side, one from my mom's direct side. And there was a bad story that when the girl is sleeping, the guy goes and be touching her leg and asks the guy to leave the house, and he left the house. So what you said is concerning. It's actually something that could happen. So in that case, of course, if there is any sexual violation of some sort, you have to protect the girl child always. But that said, there are ways to this. I mean, girls will have their room, guys will have their room. These days, they try to build houses in such a way that is multiple bathrooms, so everybody's not relying on one. Back in the day, if I go to somebody's house, girls will shower differently, guys will shower differently. And then you don't barge into any girl's room alone. There's control put in place to protect people. And what we know is that it's not just happening to girls, it can happen to boys as well. So, of course, ask questions to your kids, or even help from afar. If you don't trust somebody's character, help from far. So if somebody says, for example, oh, train my child in school, let them stay there, send money for the school fees. People do that. But what I don't really like is when you say, okay, I'm not going to train anybody's child, I'm going to train just my own child. Most of your parents were trained by somebody else, So it's not a society whereby you say each one for himself. No, we have to look after ourselves. Yes, God will give us the responsibility of taking care of our own children. What you need to understand is just you are just taking care of them. It's not really your children. Nobody you create them. You know, housemaid and big aunties do the nonsense. Wow, wow, wow. I think sometimes they could be victims as well. Almost every boy you know has gone through 1 or 2 violations as a kid. Wow.
Exactly.
People don't talk about this topic. We boys are more molested as kids, bro, believe me. Well, I think even as a young child, I mean, a girl one day took me to the toilet. I think he was picking me from school and told me to put whatever I had in her body. So, yes, you might be saying the truth. For me, what I thought is that molestation, I even enjoyed it myself. I say she's young as well, but she's older than me, so I wouldn't call it a molestation in a way, but it could be. But yes, that said, because I remember when R. Kelly was questioned, he said something about his childhood also. He was molested. So we have to checkmate these things. And as much as we're trying to help people, we have to checkmate them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read some comments. Felix said, who Anambra man? I grew up in Onitsha. I grew up in Anambra, but I'm from Enugu. Hope you are never, how you never taste these things. Not be everything I go taste now. What is periwinkle? Is periwinkle ejuna?
You have to go and find out. That's an assignment for you. You have to go find out.
I think it's ejuna now. I think periwinkle is ejuna. You know,
well, I don't know. But
snail. Is it snail? Oh, ejuna is snail.
No, snail is different.
Okay. You never put periwinkle for your bono. No, I never put. They give me a go shop. This is more than you get. Then you get, but don't go chop and for tasty.
In fact, if you try the roasted periwinkle, roasted.
Oh, they even the roaster.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! When you enter Port Harcourt, try fisherman soup. Then you know what I'm talking about. So back to your topic, right?
Yeah.
So like I was saying, a lot is wrong, and like I said, like if I want to say certain things, right, I don't need to go far. I'll use myself. Do you understand? So some of the experiences are not, really nice. The only difference between me and some people was like when I was small, mine was not. There was never a penetration. Do you understand? But there are things I saw that my brother, if and that's why some people are like, they don't want people to come to their house. They don't want to things. Some things didn't really. Some of these things didn't really happen.
But collectively as a society, I hear what you are saying, Felix. We should start discussing boys abuse. I was only 5 years. A neighbor was always on my. I believe you want to say genitals. I've never mentioned it to my parents. We should start discussing boys abuse. We focus too much on the girl side and leave the boy out of it. Yes, I will treat it as a topic, boys abuse. I mean, I have 2 boys, and I will kill for my child, man. If anybody should try any nonsense on my kid,
there are a lot of things that we overlook. We're not paying attention. We need to pay attention. Let me tell you, there was one time I met somebody a guy in Greyhound bus. We're talking, and he said something. He said that he's a lesbian. I said, whoa, hold it there. When did men start, becoming lesbian? and I was like, no, hold it there. And the guy said actually that he was molested when he was 4 years old by his uncle.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do another live, and I'm going to invite you to it. Maybe my next life will be on abuse. And I had a few, like I've said one now, but I would say a few of my sexual experiences. I won't mention names and whatever. But you know, when you're a handsome guy, you're a handsome boy, you're a beautiful girl, you can be molested. And the thing now is that my wife has been telling me she wants massage. I've been dodging massage. I don't want spa. And I'm a bit like that depends on that issue. I don't want anybody touching my wife. I'm a bit jealous because, it's women. I say even women now can be sexually.
You learn and do it for her.
I said, no, I don't do it, but you want professional hot stone. I said, what are you, if you want hot stone, we go bring stone. There's some stone we brought from the beach. I said, bring those stones, put them for oven. I go put the hot stone there. If you even want acupuncture, I go bring needle, put them for your body. But she's insisting she wants massage, but then one of the reasons I feel the way I feel is purely because you don't know the sexuality of people these days. A lot of people marry without even letting their husband and wife know that they are bisexual. A lot of these gay people also have been molested from seminary school. That's why when I see people that go to seminary, I look at them with one eye, because most of them were actually molested when they were there, maybe by fellow seminarians or even their reverend fathers. We'll talk about that in a different topic, but then looking at it holistically, right? What you see men doing these days, running away from responsibility. I mean, being a man is not just by having balls and having beard and everything. It's about, I mean, when back in the day, now, men of old, when there is war, like people is coming to your village versus village issue, the men will go out there to protect the land. You know, where there is snake, they will wake the man up to go and kill snake in the house. When there is any issue, when they want to go to, you see, in Igbo land, it's a taboo for a woman to climb the palm fruit to go and fetch palm wine, in most parts anyway. So there are things that you call on the men, you beckon on the men to do these hard things, to do these difficult things. A man can comfortably, I'm telling you, there are so many men that can comfortably train other people's children, train their own children, join. It is painful, it is hard, it is difficult, but they do it without complaining because they believe that is what a man means. You know, if you are a man, your brother's children die, automatically you inherit the children. Even though you they do it. Or you they say, you're abroad, nobody take care of anybody, or once you're 18 on your own, allow you. Some people look at other people's children here in the UK, here in abroad, in the West. Do you understand? So, for me, if you want to protect your own children, you want me to train you to school, Abi, I go train you for school, stay for where you did. You understand? But even paid workers as well, your gateman, whatever, anybody can be of harm to your family. Even your maid or your cook or your whatever, even if you are paying them for the services, they can also be the people that will break your home. Your husband might start lusting after your cook or start lusting after your cleaner. It has happened. But that does not mean that we should now stop, helping the society or helping people at large. So I believe that men should be men, and in every sense of that, so that women, you see, back in the day, when a man comes back home, he sits down. He had a shower, he sits down, they serve him food. They start bringing problems of the family to him. And that's the time you go, Daddy, they told me to bring money for this. You solve it. The wife will come. Do you know that you can make up for this person and break this person's head? They said they have to pay for this thing that he broke. He will solve it. You see, men became like judge in the home. They became like people that bring solution. But these days, you have people that are running away from responsibility. They give better, they run. They do this on their own. They don't want to be there. And again, they allow women to raise kids alone, thinking that as far as I can spend money every month is fine. Men just want to enjoy themselves. Back in the day, let me make this last point. Back in the day, you can't, I think it's like that still in most Igbo communities. I don't know if it's the same for your tribe. You cannot join the Omonna if you're not married. Go on.
Yeah, another thing that is happening these days is that, like I said earlier, that a lot of people a lot of men and women don't want to do anything, idleness, right? Now, all these things that you've mentioned, some of these people have also enjoyed it when they were growing up, but some of them don't want to make sacrifice at all. That's one. Two, some of them are just it is not my duty. It is not my duty. Now, like I said, some because of their experiences, but your experience does not mean that everybody is like that, or somebody has offended you or hurt you does not mean that everybody that is coming around you are going to do like that. And that's why these days this side chick, side boy is not like an issue.
Yeah, because so many people they're objectifying men now. So men are what they call gigolos or gigolos, whatever they call it. So men now have become a sexual object. Whereas in the past, men are predators and women are prey. Like you are a man, women are rushing after you. When you call a man, you will see a man. These days, it's like men are like becoming. In fact, people prefer women now.
Yeah,
women are running homes. Women are. Do you understand? Women are out there doing things. Men are providing. Men are now becoming the backseat.
And as a matter of fact, that's why some of the children are becoming what they are becoming. Because there are some children that need the men to take care of them, not women. Because and as a person, you know, I will say that we the women, we should start looking inward. We should start making the right choice. Because when you make the right choice, in thick and thin, you will be there for your man, right? We should stop projecting just ourselves to others, and we should stop seeing trying time in relationship like this is abomination. It doesn't happen anywhere. Whatever that is happening in social marriage is happening in social places. Patience, tolerance. I don't know if those words were not.
You know, like in relationships. Let's dive into relationship a little bit. You see, like in relationship, people don't understand that men enjoy spending money. People will think like, if that guy took me out, I ate his food, and I told him I'm on my period, and I came home. You think you're actually doing him a harm? So women not realize that real men enjoy, baby, what do you want for the weekend? I need 50,000. Or send me your account. The wire. Especially Igbo men anyway. There are men that if you're in the same group with men and you are one guy, you spend money all the time, you are dashing people money, other men in that group will hate you. Because men like to provide. Men like to be the person to come to when you want money. Men feel good when they can afford it. And that's why when they cannot afford it, it's painful. And when the women even make it more difficult saying it to them, they now want to go into depression or want to commit suicide or want to go into crime. Because they enjoy, a man will enjoy that he come out in a club, hype man will call him, hey, if you don't get money, clear out, if you did this one, do what? And you see those hype men, we need to control them more. They are putting people in trouble. You see hype men, if you day club where hype man day, and he begin to praise and praise and praise. Now remember, the person is praised and is happy. Both of those people that are watching him. But men like to be the person that will come into the club and say, give everybody one bottle. They will praise him. That's what men like.
A man that has a man that has not put his confidence together, what is he doing in the club?
No.
Because some of the things we're not supposed to play.
Should you even rely on praises? For example, if you are somebody that doesn't drink alcohol, should you now become an alcoholic because you want to praise people or you want people to praise you? That is what we are talking about, principle. I was talking about my dad that doesn't drink alcohol. Even till today, I don't drink alcohol. Does that mean I cannot afford it? People will now look down on me if I do a party and I don't provide alcohol. It's always because I don't have money. Most of the vices are expensive. Cigarette smoking is expensive. Alcohol is expensive. Women is expensive. If you want to have side chick, you get money. They're going to bill you like mad. They're not going to bill you like they will bill a lover boy that is a friend.
And the alcohol that we're talking about, can we also emphasize the disadvantage? Because like I was saying on Peter's Live the other day, a lot of
Bola, financially, economically.
I was saying on Peter's Live that a lot of Bola are gone. A lot. Bola is no more effective. So many Bola are now, their neck have bent like this. They are not effective anymore. What? Alcohol. Heavy alcohol. Hey, the woman she cannot conceive. She cannot do this. She cannot do that. You that is taking beer parlor as your second home, you should also know the disadvantages of those beer that you're taking.
That's a little slight different topic, and I say that because it goes to the women and goes to the men. A lot of women are committing abortions. A lot of women are doing so much. I mean, when it comes to what you just said, women are drinking alcohol more than in the past. Don't forget, back in the day, women don't drink alcohol. Now, openly, a woman will bring beer, buy and drink. Women will buy alcohol, keep for their house. Women will buy alcohol. Even in the clubs, women will tell you, I can afford it. You call table, they call table. You call alcohol, they buy. They will tell you they have their own money. Especially in this West. I believe you're in the West as well. So you know what I mean. If you go to club, you see nurses, they will buy anything a man can buy. Their old boy buy, they buy. If you travel to Nigeria, anything you buy, they buy. So we're in a society whereby everybody is doing anything they like. Do you understand? So when it comes to childbearing, which is two different people, or even if you talk about sex in a way, you talk about men are being replaced by toys. Owing to the fact of what I'm talking, this topic that I'm talking, and also owing to the fact that women are trying to be so civilized or westernized that they're overdoing it. Almost every woman now owns a toy. Some of them say that men buy it for them. Now, if you go into that aspect, it's purely because men are not men. Because back in the day, you will still have 5 women looking up to one man. Diani, Nani, Papani, you know, everybody were respectful to their husbands. They will serve their husbands food, kneeling down and everything. They will know their rota. They will know when to do this. They will wash clothes of men. These days, women will give you their time to watch because men have been domesticated, and also there is no value. There is no principle, both in the society, both in anything. You see women running everything these days because our men doesn't have it all together anymore. You don't look at men and feel like, okay, this one is a man. And if you see women, ask them to sort of rate men, you will see that they will rate a lot of men below. And that's why they say women mature faster than men. It's because men are not living up to the expectation. Most men are wired sexually. Most men are just thinking about sex and sex and sex. They are not thinking about what life is all about. And don't forget, if you wake up in the morning, you go to work, come back, you are in the very least of the society. There are people that wake up, they go under the sea, that is their profession. There are people that go to the moon, to the sun. There are people that do very, very tedious and hard things. And most times, they are men. Do you understand? So there are people that protect the society, there are people that protect the country, there are people who take extreme risk for the population to be safe, for their families to be safe. What are you doing as a man if you're just there? If some people want to be identified as women, that's because there is no pride of being a man anymore. Because you are trying to say, oh, it's okay to cry, it's okay
to... I don't think so, because some of them are, their foundation is coming from their childhood. And as a matter of fact, that's why I was talking about women knowing what they want before going into that relationship, men knowing themselves before going into that relationship, so that you don't just walk in and walk out. Because most times when you walk in and walk out, the children suffer, and the children go through all sorts that make them to take all sorts of decisions at the end of the day.
And even in that, there are men that, I mean, back in the days, some men will not leave a marriage because they want to make sure they're in their children's life. These days, people don't really care about children. One mess up, they want go. They want go, not because say the woman cannot be forgiven, but because they are looking on thinking about the next woman they will marry. They are already thinking about it. So men are now self-centered, enjoyment. They don't care about the kids. They don't care about training the kids. And that's why you will see someone, your wife is still pregnant, you go and knock another person belly, you go and get another person belly. Now you're forgetting that those people or those belly are going to be full adults tomorrow. Now, what are you giving them? What do you expect them to give back to you? When you see people that come out from all those kind of relationships, how do you think they see their father or their mother? Why do you want to be that kind of parent where your child don't have any respect for you because they think you just produce them and take no responsibility? Even those ones that send their children to maid or to the city with somebody to go and live with, sometimes they get their children returned home. They will call their children Obanje, they will say their children are this one and that one, they will beat some of them. There was one that came on the Lord Zeus page, the way they beat this child. No person give birth to her. If they bring your pikin like that to come, you don't enter your internet to come. You could feel ashamed of yourself. Why can't I look after my own child? Somebody wants to do this to my child. If I had money, would that person do this to my child? So we need to have that sense of responsibility. We need to have that sense of accountability. We need to have that discipline and principle so that our women will follow. We are supposed to be leaders so that women will follow. When a woman comes and says to you, which women are very good at, women's psychology, they are more intelligent and more mature than us. You are secondary school, before you don't come and say, secondary school girl, where you come out, you don't marry. Before you say hustle to find your feet, your girls don't become wives, don't born children, already operating with their husband's level. That is normal, especially in Nigeria, where Nigeria will be beating your destiny down. Unless you travel outside the country, your destiny will still get small light. So at the end of the day, when women are assessing you, immediately they say you be like you don't get sense. They could just leave you, they plow on their own life. So women could just organize themselves and move forward. The only time when the woman go, they follow you. Now when you don't say you be good leader, say you get sense. Am I lying? You see? So that's what we need to understand as society. All these women, all these men you will see come online and talk nonsense. Women are watching. Tomorrow now you go and talk to a woman, the woman will say, no, I don't want you, with a surprise. I was watching one guy where they always talk for, they always ask people questions for streets. He got ask the guy, say, where is the man that he thinks are the most beautiful from his? He mentioned his state. Funny enough, he was from the same state. He was happy. He said, hey, we remember. He got asked, will you date me? He said no. Because he didn't me realize that even though I say people that are beautiful are from your state, it doesn't necessarily mean you. So we men need to go back to being manly, being men in terms of wisdom. There's an age you will attain, people respect you, at least you're supposed to be accountable to your family. These days, people are okay being single. They will tell you marriage is not for everybody. It's not about marriage is not for everybody. Even if you're not married, are you looking after somebody? Are you taking accountability for people? Go on.
When I hear some people say marriage is not for everybody, I ask, is companion for everybody? Because
no, marriage is not for everybody. You can still have companion that is not married to you.
That's what I'm saying.
You see, people believe that money can solve every problem. If you have money, people will flock around you, yes. But you have to be paying for those people to flock around you.
Even the companionship that we're talking about, if you're not one yourself, you can't get one. You can't get that one that you're looking for when you need it. That's the point. Because if you want that person that will be that loyal, that loving, that caring, that being there for you, you have to be one. Because a lot of times we're looking for what we're not. We're looking for the kind of things that we want people to give to us, but we're not ready to give. Relationship generally is work. You have to put in the work to enjoy it. If you're not ready to put in the work, you keep complaining. You keep complaining.
I agree with you. When we look at Olu Jacobs and Joke Silva is still, tagging along. A lot of women would have left him and just walk away. But because he knew the man he married, he knew what he has gained from the man, he knew that he's the man that probably showed us a lot of responsibility. You see, we need to go back to a core society. You see, money cannot keep women. Money cannot keep women because Bill Gates and Elon Musk, not Elon Musk, a lot of billionaires actually lost their wives.
And we should know that Bekus cannot keep a man too. There are lots to it.
No. That cannot keep a man. No. That's the last thing to expect to keep a man, because men love varieties of it. So it's not really that. But back in the day, we had men that women are happy to submit to. There could be 6 of them sharing, or 7. Some people marry 7 wives and they were okay with it. Yes, there's quarrel, but they knew this man is like Regina that married Nwoko. If not, Nwoko is not that kind of man, like a man. Would you go and say, I agree to be his 7th wife and be happy flashing it on TV? You wouldn't. But because you see all these people that cannot even be in one single relationship, they can't even date one. You need to check yourself. If you are doing the right thing, if you are a real man, come on now, women should be disturbing you. At least you should be able to keep one now. Are you getting me? There are some churches you cannot become pastor if you're not married. So our men need to rise up to the occasion. Be men.
Men and women. Men and women.
Yes, men and me. When I'm talking as a man, I will come back to women later. But I'm talking to men today. Look at men of old. They could sacrifice a lot. Being a man is sacrificial. Being a man is making sure that anything that will affect your family will affect you. You fight it and make sure you not being comfortable. There are men that are comfortable. Their wife bringing food home, doing everything. They are comfortable being at home. There are men that are like that. As far as the woman doesn't tell people that she's the one providing, they are okay with it. Until that woman will say, no, I cannot continue with this.
No,
it is man's place to provide.
See, a friend of mine is saying hello.
Hiya. Hello. Hello. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Women are supposed to come on, rise up to the occasion and be what the society expects us to be. Forget all these things they are trying to domesticate us and sexualize us and objectify us. We're supposed to be in charge of the society. Since the time Beyonce sang that song, "We Run the World, Girls," things have really, really changed, and they have been running it.
But if you even look at the song, right?
Just to put it in the most simplistic way, women used to throw themselves at men, rich and poor, go to the villages. But today, you go bend down, kneel down, buy this, even to get number steps now trouble. Before you go to a guest house and marry her with the consent of her parents, and then they will import her for you and bring her to your house.
That song that you sang, now a lot of us listen to it, right? But she's with her husband. Was she running the world like she sang? No. Have you checked it that way? Yeah, because the women outside listened to it and they ran away with the world. We run the world. But the person that sang the song, she's in there with her husband.
Okay, let me say something. Let me say something, right?
Yeah.
That the priest was doing a show one day, because I watched the priest a lot. And he came up with Whiskey, either Whiskey or Davido, right? And they were talking about having multiple partners. And the girls there, all the girls there, they were saying, oh, now there are some guys you cannot keep to yourself. How can one person keep Whiskey alone to herself? Eh? So if women can say that, that means, and this is also happening in the Western world. I mean, John was on somebody's girl's live, and I think she's following me now, actually, Black American. And they said the same hypocrisy is happening. Once you have money, it's okay, I can be a baby mama. But if you don't have money, why would you want women if you are not rich? If you're not taking care of yourself, what are you doing in a club? You even said it yourself. So the standards are different. But that's not what I'm getting to. What I'm trying to say is that money should not define our society, and money does not define a man. What I mean a man that is hardworking. You wake up in the morning, you go out, you hustle, you come back. Don't make money your problem. But then you should also be wise enough that a woman will see more than just. So there are cases that will come up in the society, they will call you. There are difficult things that will happen, people will call. Not necessarily money. Societies are being put together and run by men. Whether it's kings or police or whatever, this is men. But then if we start having less of these people, then we start having more trouble. Because then our women will be reluctant. They don't have anybody to sort of submit to. Are you getting me? So they do things on their own.
But the question is, the people that are fronting the money, and with all the money that they've got, are they happy?
Because women are using them and they don't realize they are using them. Let me say something to you. You have money, a girl who doesn't badu you won't badu you. A girl that cannot marry you when you are poor, if she marries you when you're rich, it's not really marriage. What she's doing is benefits, right? And some women were asked, would you rather marry a rich man or marry a faithful broke man? Even John said it. A lot of people say, marry a rich, unfaithful man. Do you know why? They're not marrying the man, they are marrying the money. And that's why it's okay if a polygamist that the woman will still say, even though she's young and fresh, when she knows she can get a guy that will knock her bed or whatever. But what I'm trying to say in essence is that women were looking up to men, not because of money, back in the day, because men are more than just what we see today in society. If a woman marries you down because of money, it's a different thing. She's marrying the money. And when the money finishes, she goes stand up, clean her backside and waka. And that's why you see all these our kings. They will still have many wives, but those wives will still divorce them and leave. Even the richest man in the world also had a breakup or a divorce. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that, check out Rihanna. A lot of men are hustling, right? If you like Rihanna now, of course, if you're as poor as me, you wouldn't hear her. Rihanna will not come to you because you think you're a good digger, even if you're handsome. So what people that want to date those kind of people are doing is, of course, hustle to be like Chris Brown. At least so you can look at Rihanna and Rihanna will be able to look at you back. And that's why you have the people like Drake, ASAP. But that does not mean they are all faithful to him. They all actually do whatever they want to do and go. So Rihanna might be telling you, oh yeah, I'm the best, I'm the sexiest. Even that her son, she says, even with saying all of that, she got dumped by 3 men. So the point still remains that if all you have to offer is your body, there are people that are bare, like beautiful, like go to Instagram, go to explore, you will see many beautiful girls, you'll be tired. If also while you are following a man is because of money, there are so many people who are richer than him. So the point still remains is that our society, we need to checkmate what we are doing, right? And our men need to be men. So that when people have you, or you speak, or you come to a place, they will know a real man just turned up. And these real men are not defined by the number of wives they have, the number of baby mamas they have, but by virtue, by principle, by if I give you my word, I give you my word. Are you getting me? And these are the people who rule the world, people who run things. Do you understand? So that is what I'm getting at. Men of old versus men nowadays. We have seen men and we have seen half men, half women. You know what I'm talking about. And we have women. So society is now, like this. So we need to have what they call alpha male. And this is not being narcissist or whatever. Being a man is being sacrificial. It's not for you to handle your woman or whatever. No, it's about being responsible, being accountable, being there for your family, knowing what it is to run a home, knowing what it means to control a woman. They will say to you, if you cannot control a woman, then you're not a man. You have to be wise enough to be able to look after a woman, understand her hormonal imbalance, understand her temperament, understand how to talk to her, correct her, guide her, and then she can follow you. Well, if she know you are dumb, how will she follow you? Even if your ex is bad, you say, oh, yeah, marry again. After all, Idris Elba married 3 times. If you marry and it doesn't work, marry again. There are some women that won't stay in marriage because that's not what they're looking for. Marry who is ready.
Exactly.
Marriage topic, we can come to another day. But what I'm trying to establish today is that think about your father. Think about your family growing up. Think about how much responsibility. My mom used to say it all the time. You guys don't know what it means to train all of you, feed all of you. It was when I became a family man that I understood what she was saying. She visited me, plus my family and my 2 boys that eat like hungry lions. Omo, you go shopping like this, every boot go full. Yet food no dey last more than 1 week. Now every week we do shopping. We go shop for different places. We go buy Nigerian food, Italian food, and normal UK food. So at the end of the day, if one person come extra in my household, we go to feel the pain. You don't get that? So, but back home, we used to full house every day. They cook food every night. They chop. We don't care how those money came in or how those people were looked after. Yes, they don't pay rent every month like we do now. But at the same time, they were hustling. And Nigerian economy is not like they're making a lot of money in a day anyway. So they still have to run the home and still make out extra for other projects they do. So we need to appreciate what our fathers do. And in turn, try our best to give that to our children. Do more intervention with your kids. Put them in nice schools. Stop running away from responsibility. Whether you are married to their mother or not, look after your children. But more so, try and stay in marriage because training children is more important than giving them money. They will not remember you, oh, my dad gave us money when we were small. No, they won't remember you for that. But if you guide them, oh, my dad used to tell me this, or some people say, my dad says this, they will drop one adage. Or my father used to say, they will drop one line of statement. Those are training they got from their dad. What are you giving your children in terms of training, in terms of imbibing knowledge, in terms of giving them wisdom? What have you done? In the church, in the society, are you a man of repute? So we need to establish these men back in the society because they are the pillars of the society. When we have all these half-baked men and all these what we don't understand these days, or selfish men who are only thinking about how to satisfy their sexual advances and adventures, then we lose the society. In the society, we have children who sneak around to go to club. Their parents and their mom we don't know because their mom and they have gone to work. They are probably there with a minder. They will beg a minder, please, we want to go. I don't tell my mom, and they will do it. So, and all the things you've said about sexual abuse and everything is because their parents are not paying attention, or they cannot speak. Because if somebody abuses you sexually, you go to your parents and tell them. Parents will, of course, fight the person or throw the person out of their house and protect you. So, I'm going to stop here because of time. I need to go back to work. But thank you so much. What is your new name now? I wanted to call it Sport Reality. Beatrice. Yeah, thank you so much for your time. And next time you will join me as well. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.